All right. So yeah, welcome. So this is week one for life coach training, the Biblical Life Coaching School. So we'll get started. Let's see. Get my screen together. All right. So we are week one. Hold on. There we go. Fix my screen. Okay. So yeah, week one. So this is just us. This first week is just us, getting acquainted with each other, uh,
Mhm.
and just learning what is coaching. So you'll be introduced to our exclusive breakthrough coaching model. So that model is something you're gonna see about each week. And so it's 6 phases of coaching that you'll go through and automatically be like, okay, I'm here with the coaching part when I'm with my client. I'm here. You'll be able to gauge, where you are when you're coaching with that breakthrough coaching model. You just use it throughout, and it'll be something in your back pocket that you'll just know and you'll have. Uh, and so and then you will also hear about the telling myth. So we'll talk through that, and that's something coaches struggle with all the time is the telling myth, and we'll talk through that. Um, but before we get started, I know we talked before, um, but just learn a little bit more about yourself and why you want to start coaching, because we want to make this like throughout these slides, it's gonna be interactive. So I want to, us talking back and forth, being interactive. That's how we get the most out of the class. So, uh,
Okay.
so just sharing about yourself and why you want to start coaching.
Well, I mean, I know what it's like to be misunderstood and to feel just kind of lost and disoriented and not know how to find a path where to go. So, um,
Mhm.
I've always, I feel like I would be good at helping others navigate that for themselves. Um, I've been told I'm a good listener. So I think that's another thing that makes me think this would be good for me.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just have a desire to serve people and help people in that way. Um, I think I told you before, my parents are divorced, and I grew up in a home as a child with, I would characterize it as a lot of emotional abuse. So I know, having come out of all that, I know what it's like to be on the receiving end of that.
Mhm.
And if I can kind of walk with someone as they're going through a struggle, even if it's not the same thing. Just I know what it's like to grope around in the dark, trying to find your way on your own. And if I can come alongside somebody and show them a way out, if nothing else, show them a path, and just kind of walk beside them through that, and that would I, I just have a desire to do that for other people because there
Yeah.
were a few people that like a youth pastor that did that for me, and I know what that helped a lot. So
Yeah.
um, So if I can be that for someone else, I would love to do that.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's powerful. I cannot wait till you get through this and just, be even more aligned with that and helping people, that's been through the
Yeah.
things you've been through. Like that's gonna be people, it's needed. It's definitely needed, man.
Hmm.
All right. So just introducing me. So just uh Julius Starworth. And so I've been coaching for, it's really been 3 years, but it's really been, through life, it's been more than that. It's like you had that call on your life throughout life. And
Hmm.
it's like you're that person where people come to and ask for advice, all those type of things. So uh that's been my story just throughout when people just come to me for advice and help throughout. Just because I've been through a whole lot, especially this past 3 years. So, like I mentioned, my with health problems in my family. So, dad going through cardiac arrest 3 years ago, and then but him making it through. Um, and then my mom with cancer right now. My wife, we just figuring out what's been happening to her for the past 10 plus years. She got diagnosed with Hashimoto's, so this thyroid issue. So we trying to navigating that and
Hmm.
just having joy and just knowing that God is leading us just to be stronger in trials. And like we said, you go through these things because other people may go through these things as well. So other people may go through trials just like this with health problems and these specific like cancer, Hashimoto's, and cardiac arrest. Like
Hmm.
other people will go through this, and I know God is having me go through this just so then I could walk others through it on how I dealt with it and how I stayed sane. I know
Yeah.
some people's like therapy, like that's one thing uh that has helped. A lot of people don't think going to therapy, you should go to therapy, all this stuff. You don't need therapy. That's what some people say. I don't need therapy, I'm good. But no, everybody needs therapy, somebody to talk to, somebody to talk through all the different things with. Um but yeah, it's been a calling on my life to just pour into men as well. So that's why I'm doing this as an instructor. So I've been, instructing and I've been part of different organizations, Christian organizations, and it's just been a call in my life to just pour into other men and get them aligned to their callings. And so that's what I love doing. That's what I love doing. So I've been a discipleship pastor at my church. I've been, leaders of men's groups at my church. Uh, and I'm part of an organization called Influencers, and so I'm about to be a part of the cabinet for that Influencers Global Ministries, um, just as a guide. So I'm a guide inside that discipleship program. But yeah, it's just God just constantly moving me and getting me around, like-minded men and or men that need help, and I just love it. I love it. I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. Yeah. um, and part of Life Breakthrough Academy as well as a life coach. And so Life Breakthrough Academy established 2009. This school has trained students from over 60 countries, and it was founded for the purpose of equipping faith-based coaches to be able to help people sustain real growth and change. The curriculum is both formational and transformational. It is easy to understand and very practical to implement. So we'll definitely be going through this. And so were you able to get access to your student portal and everything?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Good. Awesome. So that's where you'll have the class notes, and it's recommended, to print out those class notes and take notes as we go. It's and then I'll let you know uh what things are on the exam too. So there'll be some slides. I'll be like, okay, take some notes on these slides, or make sure you circle this or star this because there's
Right.
gonna be an exam, after at the very end. And so we want you to
Right.
just be prepared when we get to that exam part. Uh, all homework is mandatory, but we won't go over the homework on here. Um, but it is mandatory. And links to edible worksheets. So there's tons of worksheets on there. If you dived in, it's all the different worksheets. Uh, other forms are located in the week 10 tab.
Okay. Is that something that, like, can I work ahead, or do I need to just do this week's? Like, if
No, I
I got
wouldn't. Yeah, just well by the time we get to week 3, you'll start doing coaching, and that's when you'll try to got to reach out to a friend or colleague, somebody around you. You'll have to turn in 2 coaching scenarios, and I'll talk you
right,
through that by the time we get there. But in between week 3 and week 10, it's like getting those actual coaching scenarios down. But no, as we go, I would just stick with, the homework that's within that week, definitely. But
Okay.
the coaching scenarios, you would want to work ahead for that and get those
Okay.
done. But yeah, I'll send out email reminders about the class. Um, and I'll have office hours available if you want to meet Tuesdays, Thursdays, are dedicated to if you need any help, outside of class. I'm there if you need help. Yeah, 9
That,
a.m. to 7 p.m. CST. And you're in EST, right?
no, I'm central.
You're Central? Oh, okay, okay, good, good.
Yeah.
So we're at the same time. That's good. So this is just items to think about while as we go through. Just eliminate the background noise, and this is just so you get the most out of the class. Just putting this up front. It's important that our concentration is not hindered by background noises. Arrange a quiet place to use. It look like you're good on that end. Uh, Being punctual and courteous, and I'll try to be on time too. And at the same time, I'll have a timer up here too. So you may come in, 10 minutes, 15 minutes early, whatever, but I'll have a timer up in this corner. Uh, and this will just show like, okay, class is about to start in X amount of time. So I'll have that timer going. I usually set that at least, 10 minutes. I'll at least join 10 minutes before class starts and have that music going. And then I'll start the class right on time. But yeah, feel free to ask questions. As I was saying, just this gonna be interactive, like throughout. If you got anything that comes up as we're going through a slide, don't be afraid to interrupt me. You know,
Okay.
just just say whatever. I want this to be really engaging and interactive, and just want everything to make sense. That's a big thing as we go through this. And then homework, as we mentioned, homework is required. So all homework assignments are required and are part of our learning experience. You may be asked, and you may be asked about the homework in class. So as we go through, because it is so much more beneficial as you do those readings and do the stuff outside the class. As we say that as teachers, uh, at school too. Teachers say that to you too, but this is
Yeah.
true, very true. Doing that homework is crucial. And this is what I was talking about with the practice scenarios. So we will also have class scenarios that can be used as coaching scenarios. So this is an example for you to review, and you can also provide an example if you need one. Uh,
Okay.
there may be opportunities uh, for improvement, but that's all right.
So where can I see that page?
So I may be able to send this to you. Yeah. Or you
Yeah.
may, worst case scenario, take a screenshot, but I could definitely send this example to you. Um, but yeah, you should begin doing some practice coaching after week 3. So after week 3, this is how it's gonna be documented. And then we send this, so I don't grade this myself. So we actually send this to the actual life coaching to the board, and they go through and they make the corrections and feedback, all everything that you see in red right here. They do that feedback for you. Um, but it doesn't have to be a paying client, but preferably not a family member. It also doesn't have to be in person. It can be, over the phone or on Zoom if that works better. But yeah, after week 3, you'll get these done. And then the exam. So the exam is an essay style test that doesn't require long answers. It is basically a review of the course. And so that's why I said I'll call out what things will be on the test, just so you'll take note and have that on your mind. And not looking for perfection with all the essay questions but excellence. Look for that excellence. You know, you may have up to 3 weeks to complete your exam. You may use your books and class notes for help. Um, Before you can be considered for certification, you need to turn in those 2 practice coaching scenarios. So that's a requirement with the accreditation for the certification. Um, so
With
that's
the two coaching things, is that two separate people or just two separate sessions?
2 separate people, 2 separate people,
Okay.
or 2 different people. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any suggestions on like how I should approach? Because like how I explain to them what it is I'm wanting. Because if they're
Hmm.
not seeking life coaching, they're gonna say, "What is?" They're not gonna understand what it is. But
Hmm.
how do I say,
Yeah.
"Hey, this is what I need from you"?
Yeah. So when you get to that point, you'll know how to approach. So it's just like, hey, I'm getting this certification. Are you okay with me recording the session? Just us, working towards a goal. Because
Hmm.
it's just somebody that you're coming together with them and being a coach for them and seeing what goals they are trying to shoot for and doing that coaching session with them. Like if they because all of us are trying to, be better, so it's just anybody that's around you. Hope it can be family, but we recommend not being family. But if that's the only, uh, person you could get to is a family member, that'll be fine. That'll be fine. But if you could do like just a friend or a colleague, that'll be a lot better. Definitely.
And I think I said about 20 minutes, a 20-minute session. You
It,
said
yeah, it could be. Yeah, 20 minutes is a good time frame. 20 minutes. But
okay.
I wouldn't even worry about the time. Uh but yeah, don't go over 30. Don't go over 30 minutes. It shouldn't take that long, uh
Okay.
but yeah, no longer than 30 minutes.
Okay. And I'll get more information on how to do it in the first few
Mhm.
sessions.
Yep,
Okay.
yep. I'll get you more info about that. Credential options are either as a certified life breakthrough coach or a certified biblical life coach. So that's just at the very end, you could decide how you want to put your certification, like phrase it. That's all that's saying.
Said a certified life biblical coach.
Yep, yep. So you could
Okay.
choose either title that you want, certified life breakthrough coach or certified biblical life coach. So I
Is
know
there
a
a
lot.
difference?
No, it's the same. It just depends on how you want to word your certification,
Okay.
how you want to word it. We got those
Oh,
two options. Yeah, a lot of people choose the certified biblical life coach. It's just shorter, makes more sense. All right, so let's go into what is coaching. So it's taking the client from where they are to where they desire to go. So helping facilitate growth and change by taking action. So if someone asks you, what is a life coach? How would you respond? So this is how you respond. This is the answer right here.
okay. Um, well, I like the example of, let's say you have a basketball team and the coach is able to take a look at how you're standing, how you're positioning yourself, um, draw up some plays for the team, um, maybe offer some suggestions on how to improve a specific part of your game that is kind of a weak point for you. Um, and the difference would be with counseling. The counseling is more like the team doctor. That's when you're having like an injury that's preventing you from even playing at all. Um, that's when you go see the doctor. That's more of a counselor role. The coaching is more of a assess, where you are and help you get better.
Exactly. Exactly. And so that's, as we progress through this, it says a process for change that asks clients very strategic questions versus telling them or giving them advice. So that's the big thing. It's not telling them the answer. That's the biggest
Right.
revelation is when they get to the answer themselves. And you're strategically asking and being curious and trying to figure out, what's in their head specifically. Uh, but yeah, coaches build towards the future, like an architect versus being focused on the past and digging up things like archaeologists. So I like to give this example. So from the American Society of Training and Development, ASTD, they did a study on accountability and found that you have 65% chance of completing the goal if you commit to someone. So if you have a specific accountability appointment with a person you've committed, you will increase your chance of success by up to 95%. So the researchers found that individuals have the following probabilities of completing the goal by taking action. So think of this, having an idea of the goal, that's like 10% likely to complete the goal. So you just thinking of the idea, like, okay, I think I could do this, you know, consciously deciding that you would do it, then that's 25%. Like just think you're gonna do it. So 25% deciding when you will do it. So deciding when you would do it, that's 40%. And then planning how to do it, you actually plan it out. Then that gets you to 50%. But the biggest thing that gets people to that goal is committing to someone that you will do it. It's 65%. And then, oh, there's a bigger one. So over that, you committing to someone that you would do it and having that accountability person, that's 65. But then you have having a specific accountability appointment. You've committed to someone. So that's that person actually having a coach and committing to like, okay, I'm gonna meet the coach once a week. We're gonna go over my accountability items. That gets that person to about 95% chance of getting to that goal when they actually have an appointment with a coach. And that's the power. That's the power of coaching. It's just like they're not doing it on their own. They're actually,
Mm-hmm.
they're reaching out to you to have that accountability partner, but you're with them along. Like you said, you want to come along people, and that's what it's about. It's coming alongside them and helping them reach that goal, and checking in with them, once a week, seeing how it's going, and actually, looking at their goals and like, oh, you didn't reach this. Let's make a plan to to get this going again. So a common misconception is that you have all the answers. That's a
Yeah.
common misconception. Actually, you are assuming that your client is the expert and that he or she will do the hard work. So that's the big thing. It's like you don't have all the answers, but you got to look at your client as the expert and trying to see, okay, where are they at in their mind? That's where you start asking those questions to see where they are. And that's how you get the most out of coaching is when the client is kind of driving the strategic part of the goals of what they want to do. And so we coach by asking questions and getting to the root of issues with our clients, and asking questions help us get there. That's the big thing. Now you think about, does the past matter? Yes, but we're focused on the future. So as a life coach, you know, we're looking ahead. If there is some things they got to dig into with their past, that'd be more of like the on the therapist side. Like, okay, we recommend, possibly, therapy to dig into that past. But what we're doing as life coaches, we're trying to, plan out that future and get through those roadblocks that they're having, not achieving their future goals, where they want to be in the future.
Mm-hmm. Is it ever possible for, let's say, a client is seeing me as a coach and a counselor at the same time? Like
Yeah, yeah.
Monday he sees the counselor, and on Wednesday he comes to me, and join
Yeah,
the two
that's
of us.
definitely. Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. We have people like that all the time. We're doing, and that is great.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
great. Yeah, it's actually, some people that went through the program and they are therapists and they're coaches, and they have the
Okay.
same, the same client. They're like, okay, but they separate it out. It's like, okay, I'm gonna do therapy this week. Next week we're gonna go through coaching. They kind of, separate the two. They don't do at the same time, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. And then let's go to the next slide. So what coaching is not. So coaches are not like counselors or therapists who deal with, like we are talking about, deal with the person's past and need for healing. Coaches are not mentors who practice succession, training, and getting clients to replicate the mentor. Coaches are not like consultants who solve problems by providing expertise and formulas. And that's that video. If you watch that video, it goes through that as well. What it's talking about on this slide. So you can watch that video inside the student portal for week 1, and you'll see that even more clearly in those visuals. So can it be combined? And that's the question right there. It can be combined as long as the coaching remains separate from the other methods used. So that's why I was saying it could be like, okay, one day, 1 week you meet for therapy, 1 week you meet for coaching, or just separate the days, separate the times that you're doing if you're doing both.
Mm.
This could mean you do both, but on different days or dividing the same session into two halves. Yep. This is so that the client doesn't get confused about when you are actually coaching. Yeah, because that's the thing. That's what we talk about with coaching. You're building towards the future, and so you don't want to confuse the client of like, oh wait, are we digging into the past? Or are we talking about the future, like going back and forth? So it helps the client be focused on what goals they're shooting for. And then this is just a call out of the different things, and you're going to figure this out, specifically by the end of this whole class, this whole program. You'll figure out, okay, what is the coaching industry that God's calling me to. And so that's what this is showing, the different things. So characteristic coaching, you got doesn't give advice, actively listens, asks great questions, clarifies client goals, movement focus. So you'll figure out what type of coach you are. These are different coaches. Cheerleads clients, challenges the client, accountability agents. And some of these you could be, multiple of these. We got coaching types: life coaching, business coaching, wellness coaching, financial coaching, career coaching, relationship coaching, leadership coaching, life purpose coaching, and there's many more type of coaches. Coaching results, fulfillment, fulfill lost dreams, accomplish goals, manage life changes, overcome old habits, create new habits, boost relationships, make better decisions, form a strategy. And those are results, as you have your clients, you'll see, okay, this is what we're shooting for. This is the end result. You know, Qualifications: caring and empathetic, detail oriented, great listener, analytical thinker, good people skills, emotionally stable, willing to grow, willing to learn. Yeah. All right. And this is the coaching creed, and it's in your notes as well. And I'm gonna read this. So it says, please read our coaching creed that is included in this week's class notes prior to next week's class. These are professional standards that we hope you will honor and practice. And so I'll read through these. It says, I hold myself accountable to the highest level of integrity, honoring Jesus Christ individually and cooperatively in all my associations. I will maintain complete confidentiality with my clients within the confines of the law. I will be clear with my clients about the nature of the coaching relationship, including structure, fees, refunds, expectations, and guarantees. I will never give a client's name to anyone for any purpose without express permission. I will give credit where credit is due for materials supplied by other sources. I will judiciously avoid conflicts of interest. If any should arise, I shall, without delay, inform concerned parties of my position. I will represent myself honestly and clearly to my clients and coach only within my competency. I will actively pursue well being, wholeness, and continual learning in my own life. I will refer a client to others if I am not within my competency or comfort for the sake of the client. I will honor my Christian values in my professional conduct, placing neither blame nor blemish on the name of Christ or coaching. So, state licensing not required, no government regulations, coaches listed as consultants. Okay. So I'm gonna read this and I'm gonna see like what does this mean to you? So if information alone could change people, everybody would be skinny, rich, and happy. what's
Yep.
what's that mean
Yep.
to you?
Well, yeah, I mean, facts alone, a lot of people know what to do.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know if you follow, I'm sure you know who Dave Ramsey
Oh
is.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
He says that, money is 20% math and 80% behavior.
Mm.
People
Yep.
know facts. I know I need to pay off my debt or whatever, or I know I don't need to buy this with a credit card, but it doesn't, people are not strictly logical creatures. We also have emotions. We also have habits.
Yep.
Um, we have pain that can affect our decisions, and I want to stop feeling this pain. So I'm going to go buy something or I'm going to go do something that's not healthy for me just to get my mind off of the pain.
Yep.
So I know it's not good for me, but it's that emotional factor
Yeah.
that's going to influence them as well. So, we're not, we're not, from Star Trek, the Doctor or for Spock,
Mhm.
in Star Trek, he's strictly logical, strictly no emotional. Well, we're not, humans are not like that. And,
Yeah.
we do have that emotional component.
Exactly. And that's the thing. And big thing with this is it takes God putting people in your life too, and
Mhm.
and also being obedient to God's direction. It's just like, okay, God's gonna tell you to do something, but like you said, it's like we get that information, but it's a behavior we have to do. Yes, we have to actually move and take those steps. You know,
Mhm.
so that's huge of when you have a client, you have a person you're talking to, and you're in your coaching, and you're trying to get them to that next step. Like, hey, you're just hoping like, we set these goals. Now the next step is for them to do the goals.
Yeah.
Actually walk
Mhm.
through. All right, so this is the telling myth we were talking about at the beginning. So telling myth. So show, not tell. Let's see. So tell them if I tell people what to do, they will take my advice and take immediate action. That's the myth.
Yeah.
So question, how many books or sermons have you read or heard that you immediately started applying them to your life?
Yeah. Very little.
Exactly. And then fact, people respond to inner revelation more than outer suggestions from others. So, but yeah, this concept, so show not tell, this concept is used in marketing, also when writing. So example is, let me give you this example right here. So think about teenagers who date someone who are dating someone they don't like. If you tell that child what to do, it seems they like they run into the arms of the person they don't like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you tell the child what to do, it seems like they run into that arms of that person that you say don't mess with them. Uh, in that situation, how can a parent ask questions to get them to revolution to a revolution?
Um, hmm. Yeah, they can ask, you know, just what do you know about this person? What
Mm,
do you know about their character? Um, ask them, maybe have you noticed they've dated like 5 people in the last year or so?
mhm.
Maybe they're just using you as the next one, trying to and hopefully get them to kind of see some of the behavior that you're questioning.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. That's good. And it's just, yeah, seeing like digging into what they're looking for, you know, in someone and seeing
Yeah,
where they're at. That's the big thing. It's hard not being like, oh, don't do this because of that. Don't do this because, they have this record. Pointing out the facts for them is just trying to get them to a point of inner revelation. It's like, oh, I didn't see it. I didn't see it that way. You know. Um, but yeah, it takes practice. It takes some practice.
yeah,
Like, digging in, being curious, and trying to see their mindset on certain things, and just asking questions like, what are you looking for? In the boyfriend, in the girlfriend. Asking your son or daughter that. You know,
okay,
what qualities are you looking for? You know, and now it's a tone thing too. So watching your tone, because it's one of the things you want. Your tone will be off, and then the ears shut off. You know,
yeah,
but it's actually being curious, having a good tone, and just talking through it with them, and then you truly get to the heart of what they're looking for, and that's where you could like kind of steer them in the right direction of what from your experience, you know, on the direction hopefully they should go, that they choose, that they should go because you've been down this route before. so so yeah, it just takes some practice of just asking questions. Okay. Go ahead and read this one.
tell me and I forget, teach me and I may remember, involve me and I learn.
Yep.
Benjamin Franklin. Yeah,
Yep. Very true.
yeah,
2 words right there. Yep. Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I may remember. Involve me and I learn. And that's the key thing about coaching. So as you go along coaching somebody, just making sure you involve them throughout and you walk with them throughout, you know. And coaching is like discipleship. This is us discipling somebody and helping them that way and just walking them through. So that's the way to look at it. And what it truly is discipleship. That's truly what it is. So the asking effect, and this is a basics. This is the basis of coaching right here. Very basics right here. So the asking effect, we help clients process their thinking to make more informed choices by asking questions. Coaches uses the ask, answer, discuss process to create clarity and vision. So number one, a strategic question is asked. So we ask that question. And then the next part is a thoughtful answer is given by the person you're coaching. And then the answer is briefly discussed. So we go in, we start, asking more I mean, discussing that answer even more. And then from there, you'll ask another question, then ask another until clarity is achieved. So this is the basics of what you're doing as a coach. You continue to dive in, dive in, dive in until you get to the real, the real answer uh, for clarity. And that's the big thing about coaching, is just getting to that point of being curious, 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 and getting to a real goal, the real issue that's happened, that's going on. Uh, that's why you got to ask those questions, because usually the first answer that you get is not the true thing that's going on, the true issue or the most realistic goal. You got to keep digging in until you get those solid that solid clarity on what was true. And right here is the breakthrough model I was talking about. This is what you'll see every time on each week. So this is what we'll go through each week, is awareness. So where is the client right now? So assessing that. So this part can take time. So the first thing revealed, like we talked about, the first thing revealed most likely is not the real place the client is. And so that's where, you're probably stay on this for a little while, especially the first time you meet with somebody. It's truly assessing, okay, where is this client right now? So assembling the real story needed to gain valuable insight and perspective. And then you go from there, and that's where you start getting a vision going. So what is that specific goal that your client is shooting for? So specifically define client's goals, including the mission, meaning, and desired outcome. So this is a building up the faith stage. So your client may be thinking pretty small or whatever. So it's just like you're kind of building their faith of, like, you could do more than that. You could, like, think bigger, think bigger. You know, so what does the fearing what's good of fearing man, look like? So not fearing man. That's where people get stuck in. They start bringing that fear in there. That's what you try to break them through. Like, don't have any fear with your goals. So let's shoot for truly where you want to go, where you want to be in the future. Obstacles. So obstacles will come up when people start thinking about their goals, and that's where you gotta break through those obstacles for them, help them break through them. So what is standing in the client's way? So expose and clearly define the inner and outer obstacles that block the client's progress. So this is a mindset. So they could be stuck with the mindset issues or things out of the client's control. They just get stuck there. You got to walk them through that. Like I said, we'll talk through that throughout the weeks on how to do that. Um, and then from there is support. So what can support the client's success? So God is unlimited, and we help guys see this. We help people see this, that God is unlimited. Um, but yeah, these are the things the client needs to add or remove in order to help their goals. Um, but yeah, help the client go find the support God has and will provide. And that's the big thing. The support part is getting their minds to that, like, God's gonna provide and get you through this obstacle, and just seeing, like, okay, who around you can help, who around you, um, or what resources are available to you right now that you're not seeing. Just having them, pull back and see truly their current state and seeing what God has provided. That's what the support part is about. Strategy. So how is the client getting there? So how that that's huge. How is the client gonna get there? So a detailed game plan that can be adjusted with gain clarity as the process progresses. So God has given you some gifts, and you will align to this. So and then 6 actions. So how is the client willing to take action? Getting commitments for regular small steps that will incrementally move the client forward. So this helps the client commit to those small steps that does not trigger fear. And that's the big thing. If you have too much of a big of a goal, it could trigger some fear for some clients. So it's establishing, okay, what actions can we take? Just small steps to get towards the big goal that we're shooting for. And so these actions are things you would check back with them when you meet with them like the next week. Like, okay, how did you do on these action steps you had planned, for this week or these 2 weeks, and then assessing and seeing where they are. But yeah, like I said, this breakthrough coaching model, this is what you're going to use throughout your coaching, throughout the
Sure.
coaching. Yeah. And so these are two type of clients. So you got the difficult client versus the ideal client. Who do you want to work with?
Yeah.
Just looking through this, just so you're aware, these are type of clients you could face, and you could be like, okay, I got to direct you to this, to that, and so you'll quickly see, as time goes on, if it's a pattern that can be shooken, uh, you'll quickly figure this out. So are you nervous about, getting a difficult client? Let me go through it first. Let me go through it. Let me read through
Yeah.
it. So a difficult client, obnoxious, dysfunctions or addictions. So that's the thing. If they're stuck in some type of addiction, we can't coach with that. If they're stuck in their cycle, that's something for them to work out through with a therapist, psychologist, all those type of things. Like if they're just stuck. That's something where we're just, you would direct them to somewhere else. Um, doesn't complete their assignments. And so that's the thing. If it's like week over week over week, and they're not, doing the assignments that you put out there to them, it's just like, okay, they're not taking this serious at all. They're not trying to get better. What are we meeting for? Type of thing. So just and then emotional baggage and depression. And it's just like, okay, if the sessions aren't working and they're just still stuck in bringing up, the past, and they're stuck in, depression, and just like it's the big thing is like clients can come to you with a little bit of these symptoms, but it's like if it's not progressing and getting better, after like uh, 2 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks, and you're just stuck there, just like, okay, maybe you're not, they need me to a therapist, or they may need to have a different coach.
Yeah.
It's just like if your style of coaching isn't helping, you just gotta, and you can't take it personal. It's just like, okay, God's not calling me to this person, or they're not, it's not, in my field of competency, in my field of helping them. Uh, and then moral or doctrinal differences with coach. And so we're not gonna, so nobody's gonna come that's an atheist, like in this coaching program we have. You're not gonna have an atheist, unless they're open to, like they were atheists, and then they're trying to go, and see what this whole Jesus thing is about.
Yeah.
If they're trying to progress and learn. But if they're stuck in that mindset of like, oh no, this is what I believe, and it's totally different from what, you know, the belief system for this being a Christian coach, then it won't work out. A judger mindset, so think they know it all. So you may get clients like that, like, oh, I already know what to do. I already know. I've been through this. I experienced that. So it's just, you see that probably like in probably the older clients you may have. They
Hmm.
may be stuck in like, I've always done it this way. It's always worked. But it's like, get you to break them out of those old ways of thinking and just want to do something new. So you are not too old to learn something new and continue to, to come back and grow. So that's the big thing. Is just let them know like, oh, you could grow, if you just change your mindset and do something, just tweak it a little bit from the way you were doing it. So yeah, you may face some clients in those categories, but you got to quickly identify if they're in there.
Hmm.
Ideal client, compatible with their coach's style, functional and capable of change, gives open and honest answers, understands coaching and upholds therein, a beginner mindset, is open to learning. That's what we talked about. So, back to that question: Are you nervous about getting a difficult client?
Oh
Or
yeah.
you know,
Be
yeah,
honest, I'm even a little nervous about getting the ideal client, just because I haven't done it yet.
yep.
So even that,
And it,
uh,
like I say, it'll take practice as you do it. You'll find your style, and that's the big thing. And we'll talk about that. Like I said, with week 3, you'll get your identity with coaching and learn your style of coaching and everything. So you'll get a little less nervous. You may always be nervous, like everybody gets nervous, like in the big you talk about with sports, whatever too. Like all the
yeah,
athletes, I always get nervous a little bit in the game.
yeah.
but you just get a little less nervous, hopefully, as you do this. Because it's just having that goal in mind of like, okay, I'm doing this for the client. We're just trying to shoot for, you know, making them, better and getting them towards their goals and where they want to go in the future. It's just like just turning your mind towards them. It's not, taking yourself out of it. It's not about me. It's not about me. I'm trying to get them to where they want to go. So taking yourself kind of out of it. So these are questions. So I would take a screenshot of this. So these are questions that will be on the exam. And so, what is coaching? So this is things that we've been through in the slide. So, what is coaching? How does it differ from counseling and therapy? Um, how does Christian coaching differ from secular coaching? What does it mean to coach in the gap from Colin's book?
Okay.
These things that will be on the exam. All right. So just wrapping it up. So these are the homework assignments for before next week 2. So next Sunday at 5 p.m. So please read the coaching creed that's included in your class notes from week 1. So the one that I read through it, but just read it for yourself and uh, just know that, those are things you stick to as a coach. And then read chapters 6 and 7 in the Christian coaching book by Dr. Gary Collins. Um, and like you already logged in, so log into your student portal and grab the coaching traits worksheet. Grab that and go through that, look through it. But no, that's it. This was week 1. This is week 1.
Okay.
How you feeling?
Feeling good.
All
Yeah, I'm
right.
excited. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
I mean, this is
And
probably going to be the easiest one, but yeah,
awesome.
yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, let me go ahead and stop. Let me stop recording. Let's see. Did I stop recording? Okay, stop recording. There we go.